Welcome, here is a rundown of war in Ukraine. Russia likely in control of most of Soledar. Russia had stepped up a powerful assault on Soledar in eastern Ukraine, forcing Ukrainian troops to repel waves of attacks led by the Wagner contract militia around the salt mining town and nearby fronts. The UK's Ministry of Defence, MOD, has issued its latest assessment of the situation there. In its report, the MOD states that in the last 4 days, Russian and Wagner forces have made tactical advances into the Donbass city of Soledar and are likely in control of most of the settlement. The ministry also said that Russia's Soledar axis is highly likely an effort to envelop the eastern town of Bakhmut from the north, and to disrupt Ukrainian lines of communication. Russian warship armed with hypersonic cruise weapons holds exercises in Norwegian Sea. A Russian warship armed with hypersonic cruise missiles weapons has held exercises in the Norwegian Sea today. The country's defense minister said the crew conducted an exercise to repel the means of an air attack of a simulated enemy during the drill. It comes after Vladimir Putin sent the ship to the Atlantic Ocean armed with new generation hypersonic cruise missiles in a signal to the West that Russia will not back down from the fight in Ukraine. Named the admiral of the fleet of the Soviet Union Gorshkov, the ship is armed with several Zircon missiles. Russia says the weapons fly at 9 times the speed of sound and have a range of over 1,000 kilometers. Last week, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev warned the United States that the hypersonic missiles would soon be close to NATO's shores. And Russia promises stronger military as Ukraine war drags on. President Vladimir Putin's defense minister has pledged to build a deeper arsenal of weapons, bolster aviation technology to better evade air defenses and improve drone production after a series of battlefield humiliations in Ukraine. The conflict has turned into a grinding war of attrition that has killed and wounded tens of thousands of soldiers on both sides, as well as Ukrainian civilians, though there is no end in sight, and both sides are rearming as fast as they can. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu told top generals that to renew the army, they would have to take account of the experience of fighting in the Syrian civil war, where Russia intervened on the side of President Bashar al-Assad, and in Ukraine. We need to constantly analyze and systematize the experience of our group's actions in Ukraine and Syria, and on that basis to draw up training programs for personnel and plans for the supply of military equipment, Shoigu said. Shoigu said Russia would continue to develop its nuclear triad of ballistic missiles, submarines and strategic bombers because such weapons were the main guarantee of its sovereignty. On conventional weapons, Shoigu gave a remarkably frank analysis of where Russia needed to improve. Shoigu said Russia would pay particular attention to the Air Force, build up its overall attack capabilities and improve command, communication and training.